All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
All right, welcome back to the X Zone, everybody. And if you're driving your car on the Queen Elizabeth Highway, the 406, the 407, or the 401, it's not a good idea to get up there and boogie along with the Rolling Stones, Get Off My Cloud. Please pull your car over, and if you want to dance away in the, on the shoulder of the road, I'm sure that the people who watch the cameras on the highways will get a kick out of it, and probably you'll get a visit from the Ontario Provincial Police. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. And we're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic2012.ca. My guest this hour is Rachel Garrett. She's a registered nurse, master IET instructor, Akashic Record Practitioner, healer, certified crystal healer, and certified angelic medium. Now, if that was me, I'd be an angelic extra large, but she's just a medium. And she's the host of the Spiritual Spotlight series. Her healing abilities and teachings are thoughtfully created to help you overcome obstacles and embrace your true potential. And joining me now from Stillwater, New York, is Rachel Garrett. And Rachel, welcome to the X Zone.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. We do our best. That's all we can do, right?
Absolutely.
So, Rachel, how did you get started on your voyage into doing all the wonderful things that you do to help people out?
That is a really good question, and it may not be the best answer, but I love Sylvia Browne on Montel Williams, and I was like, I want to do that. And then that kind of jump-started me into a whole spiritual realm. And I'm not Sylvia Browne, but I'm happy that I can dabble my toes in the spiritual realm.
You know, I watched Sylvia Browne on the Montel Williams show as well. And the amazing part about Sylvia is she touched so many people and brought so much closure to the world.
She really did.
Yeah.
And, I like the fact that she was inspirational, but yet she was direct. Mm-hmm. Sometimes some of us need a kind of kick in the pants, and some of us need a little bit of hand holding. And I, being a registered nurse, kind of like a direct method. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like that she cut through a lot of noise and got right to the point.
I've got a special thing for nurses.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm married to one.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
I bet she's amazing.
All right, I'm going to tell you a secret, okay?
Okay.
There's nobody listening except about 8 million people right now. And I hope she's not in the car listening. She's probably out on the side of the road boogalooing, waiting for the OPP to come. Anyway, she is fantastic. She is one fantastic lady. We have 6 children, 15 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. And she's just a great lady.
I love that. I love that. What a big, happy family.
Well, she's the center. She's the person that brings it all together. And, I love nurses because they're so giving. When you do your job, you put your whole heart behind it. I swear to heavens that every nurse I have ever met is empathic.
100% would agree with that. Absolutely, yes.
I had occasion 2 years ago to witness how hard nurses are when I fell off a roof and kind of put myself in the hospital for a couple of months. But you know what I found out when I fell off the roof?
What's that?
Well, there's two things I confirm. Number one, it's not the fall that hurts; it's a sudden stop. And who discovered gravity? Sir Isaac Newton. He was right too. There is gravity. But I was in the hospital after they did this surgery, and I was at rehab. And I'll tell you, seeing nurses from that side, God bless you all.
It's a very interesting, moment when people are in tragic and scary situations, and nurses just shift into a different mindset and a different wavelength. I was a hospital nurse, was a hospice nurse, oncology nurse. I run a doctor's office now, and when you get into those crisis situations, all you can do is just hold space for the patient and make sure they're safe and they're taken well care of.
And that's exactly how I felt with the fine people at the Welland General Hospital here in Welland, Ontario, and the Schaefer Rehabilitation Center. All fantastic people.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, you deserve the kudos. You really do, because I'm sure everyone listening tonight remembers 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
And look how the first responders, the nurses, the doctors, the police, the fire, the military, everybody just kicked into action. And that's something I hope people remember. And when Nurse Week comes around here in Canada, I make sure that all the nurses that we can get to listen to the show know exactly how much they are appreciated. So to you and the other nurses that you know and the doctors, thank you all for doing everything you can to make us a better, healthier society. Nursing, I can understand, but how did you get into Akashic Records?
Oh, goodness. So I started when I got to started doing, modalities and things of that nature. I really enjoyed energy healing. But I was getting messages while I was doing the energy healing, and I found that I wasn't quite certain of how to pull or channel in that information. And when I turned to Akashic Records, I found kind of more of a direct access point to then get messages from masters, teachers, guides, ascended masters, and I was able to tap into the messages I was getting while I was doing energy healing. But the Akashic Records made it so much easier for me to pull in that information and to channel it to my client.
Where did the angels come in?
So the angels are with the energy healing. So IET is integrative energy therapy. It's working with the 9 healing angels. You actually I love, and being a registered nurse, this is why I like it so much, because there's trigger points on the body. So let's say, the heart holds heartache, so I'm going to push on that part of your body, channel that energy, and I'm maybe bring in Archangel Raphael to pull in, to pull the energy out that's no longer serving you and to infuse in just unconditional love. So that's where working with the angels started with me.
Right.
Was with the energy healing, and I love it because you get the issues out of the tissues without having to relive the trauma. And then moving on to the Akashic Records, being a certified angelic medium. Just angels have always been, I've always kind of worked with angels, and they're not, I'm kind of I know I'm a registered nurse. I'm kind of a scaredy pants when it comes to ghosts and things of that nature. So I love angels because they don't scare me. And so then I know it sounds so stupid.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
But I've never been fearful of that. And it's opened me up to then, okay, now I can work with the elementals, or now I can work with this realm, or, tap into the galactic nature. And, it's opened me up to, not being afraid. And also angels have unconditional love for humans, and they're always wanting to help us, and they're always here to guide us. So I think that's where the angels, working with the angels, really came in. And every day I work with the angels, even if it's to find a parking spot. I'm like, Archangel Michael, can you find me a parking spot? Please help me.
And does he?
Absolutely. I get some good parking spots, everyone. And if I'm at, the store and I don't like, somebody them around, because, as you said earlier, I'm definitely empathic. I pick up on energies, and if I don't like something, I'll say, Archangel Michael, please help me. Please come to me now. I don't like this energy, and that person's gone. So definitely, I always call on the angels for any type of help, guidance, anything.
All right. Crystal healings.
Yes, love them.
Is that where you, how do you use the crystals in healing someone?
So with crystals, so a couple things about crystals. What I like about crystals is crystals actually, they don't break down. They vibrate at a certain frequency. So let's say I'm holding an amethyst and it's vibrating, at a frequency of love. Well, us as humans, I guess this is going to my registered nurse side of me. Us as humans, we're always breaking down. Like our bodies are breaking down. Well, that crystal can actually pull up your energetic system to vibrate at the same energy frequency of that crystal. So you can balance your chakras. You can balance, maybe I need to pull in some more love. Maybe I need to focus. I'm going to use a fluorite. Maybe I need to, here's a great one for people that take things personally. I'm going to use a bronzite. So that way it kind of reflects that energy off of me. And I'm not going to bring in that energy of maybe somebody being a little, people right now can be a little snide or a little curt. And I'm not going to take that in because I'm carrying my bronzite on me. I love it.
It sounds like you love it.
I do.
Now, we're just touching onto these topics. We're going to get deeper into them as we go on into this hour.
Sure.
Let me see. Energy healing.
Energy healing again, like I love working with the energetic system. So, you have a physical body, you have energetic layers as well. You have a mental body, an emotional body, and you have a spiritual body. We always are going through, right now having this conversation, we're exchanging energy. Some of this may be embedded into our cellular tissue that I might need to either return energy that I borrowed back from you or vice versa. If I go through a traumatic event or, maybe I got into an argument with my child, I might need to do some energy healing and pull that out and infuse back in. What I took out, I always want to replace something in. And I think that's what I like about it. And it's also, you don't just work with your physical body, like let's say, as being a registered nurse, I definitely believe that, the body keeps the score. So like maybe a rash comes up or a headache or something like that. Like I might take a medication to help that, but really I need to get to the root cause issue of what is causing that rash. And it could be anxiety. Well, energy healing can help pull that out and pull it out of all
Rachel,
of those. Yes.
I'm going to have to take a commercial break here. Please stand
sure.
by.
I got all very excited.
Oh, it's okay. Exonation, our guest this hour is Rachel Garrett. And her website is akashicangels.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this short break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, right here from our studios and corporate offices in St. Catharines, Ontario. And you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, streaming around the world to classic1220.ca. Welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. Wow, that's an oldie, isn't it, Craig? Heartbreaker, Dionne Warwick, right? Yeah. That's when you could actually turn on the radio and listen to a song and understand what the hell they were talking about. That's why people listen to us here at Classic 1220. We've got the greatest music in Ontario, probably in Canada. Oh, what the heck, around the world. www.classic1220.ca. Rachel Garrett's my special guest this hour. And Rachel's website is akashicangels.com. All right, I think we were talking about crystals before we went to the break.
Yes, crystals. Yeah, crystals are a lot of fun, and you can really use crystals for about anything. You can use them for decoration. You can use them for cleansing. Like, let's say you just want selenite. Selenite's a really inexpensive crystal that can help you just cleanse your energetic field. I really love working with crystals because they can be a good something for you to hold. And then if you can tap into that energetic vibration of the crystal, it can definitely provide you with healing.
Rachel, as someone who is both a registered nurse and a spiritual healer, how do you balance the scientific aspects of nursing with the more intuitive, holistic approaches of spiritual healing in your practices?
That's a very interesting question. I will say that sometimes it can be very easy. Like, for example, if I'm doing energy healing, I can very easily tap into, and also just intuitive readings and Akashic Records readings, actually. I can tap into, as a registered nurse, okay, this organ, your kidneys, may be holding fear. Well, then I can also pull in and say, depending on when I'm channeling, I might say, all right, well, I'm feeling like you may be low in this supplement, but then I can explain why you need that supplement. Like, let's say it's vitamin D. Well, you need the sun, you need vitamin D, you need calcium. So I think that's a good way to blend them two together, because you do have the science to back up the spiritual. Because, even for myself, I want to question everything. I want to know, well, is this a bunch of, is this real,
Right,
or am I making this up, or do I truly have the science behind it? And I want to have the science behind why this works.
So in your experience, let's say you're at a hospital, or you're at your doctor's office,
Yeah.
and you are acting as a nurse.
Mhm.
How do they know that you're also bringing in another side of you?
I will say that some people in the office, so I run a doctor's office, a pediatric and internal medicine office, and I will say most of my office knows that I am a spiritual person. I have my office gridded with crystals. I actually will cleanse the office with Palo Santo. I will diffuse essential oils to bring up the mood. I will even say, like, okay, guys, be mindful of the energy you're bringing to the office. Now, do the patients necessarily know that? Probably not, because I'm not sitting there saying, hey, do you want me to tell you about these angels? Like, I don't want to freak somebody out.
Well,
but,
I would imagine if somebody goes to a doctor's office and somebody starts talking about angels, they put one and one together and say, oh, bad news.
They will say, go get Rachel, she can help you through it. That's what they'll say. Like, I think even just the other day, actually this happened maybe a month ago, one of our practitioners, she was like, I can't get my house sold and this and that. And they're like, go get Rachel, she can put some energy on it to help you get it sold. So it's like, they will use me, but I'm not out there like with a billboard saying, come on, let's pull out all these angels. I will infuse it when I need to.
Yeah.
And I know when to pull it back, because this can be an intimidating field for others. And I don't want to, I don't want to upset anyone or make them uncomfortable.
Well understood. Can you explain the concept of the Akashic Records for some of our listeners who may not know what we're talking about?
Absolutely. So the Akashic Records, in essence, are your soul book. So from the time that your soul was incepted, and this is not just like this physical lifetime, like we've had many, many, many lifetimes on this planet, other planets, everywhere. So it does hold all of the universal events, thoughts, word, emotions, and intent to ever have occurred, past, present, and even the future, which I love. I love connecting people with their future selves. So it's kind of like this big information computer, and that is what I like in the Akashic Records too.
So where are these records kept?
So some people consider it to be in Shambhala. For me, I just consider it, for me, it's like an energy field. So if I'm like on an elevator, I may just open the door and go through that, and that's where I'm pulling through the Akashic Records. So for me, it's just a different dimension. It's a different energetic field. And that's where I like in the Akashic Records too. Some people say it's like within their body. And some people say it's external. for me, it's just this feeling and knowing of me going into that field and knowing that I'm there. Like, it's kind of like a shift in consciousness.
Right.
And then I'm there.
So, in your experience as an Akashic Record Practitioner, what has been the most profound insight or revelation you've encountered?
Oh, goodness. I love it when people get these aha moments, like when their soul purpose clicks in. One of the questions that I'm asked a lot is, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And when I'm able to kind of give them an answer, from the Ascended Masters or from the angels, and they're like, now I get it. Now this makes sense. Now I understand what my path is. I've had like people, I'm not very visual, that's something like I'm more feeling, and just to feel the intense amount of love that spirit pulls through for the client, it's profound. And it just leaves you buzzing, like so much love, that unconditional love that people so desperately want to feel. Feeling that come through as an energy through these guides is very transformational.
In today's troubling times, how can an Akashic Record reading help our listeners?
Oh, so it can help you, one, like, let's say you have a limiting belief that's running through your head.
Okay.
Like, one of them could be like, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. And right now there's a lot of chaos and tension and stress.
Big
and
time.
Just everything that's going on. If you were to just kind of pull through and just say, hey, like, this reading's coming from your angels, this is coming from your guides. It's more for like clarity. That's what I like about it. And it's never judgmental. It's never like demeaning. It's always positive. It's uplifting. It's, hey, why don't we work on this? Let's look at this. Let's look at some limiting beliefs. Let's clear them up. Let's get some contracts cleared. And let's bring you in your future self. Let's show you what's possible for the future. That's what I love about the readings. And all of them are different. No matter, I've given hundreds, thousands of readings, and not one of them is the same. They're all different. Even if I were to give you 10 different readings, they'd be vastly different.
You said before that during the Akashic Records, you can actually go forward and backwards.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes.
Like, if the future is not set and we have free will, how does the Akashic Records know which way we're going to turn? For example, we go to a stoplight. Do we turn right or left? How do they know what we're going to be doing before we even do it?
That's a really good point. And sometimes I ask myself that same question, because what I'll say is, you have free will.
Yes.
So right now, in this instance, this is what your future possibility is looking like. But if you change, like you just said, I actually say that same exact example. I'm like, you might turn left when really they're thinking you're going to turn right. But I do feel like us from the future as an Ascended Master is definitely a potential possibility of our future that I do believe is going to come to, at least to me or to everyone else that's listening.
So basically, the angels are giving us an essential GPS of our life. They're suggesting by the map that is laid out which direction, based on knowing us, we will take. Let's say the angels say, all right, on Oak Street, Rob's going to turn right. But Rob, being the kind of guy he does, says, I think I'm going to go grab a coffee, and he turns left. So that is the probability, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And yes, I do past life readings with the Akashic Records, and those are really fun as well.
I've been told that during a past life reading with the Akashic Records, it tells you, or the person is told, that they could have lived in a different dimension, another planet, another body, or even if they were not a human, the next time around. Once again, how does this happen?
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, we're a soul having a human experience. So we come from, maybe our belief is that we come from the spark of source, or we come from the spark of God, whatever you believe. Well, I don't believe that I've always been on Earth. Like, I believe that I was maybe part of Atlantis, or part of Lemuria, or part of, there's no way that most of us have not had a galactic experience off planet in a previous lifetime, when we probably have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes. You know, I would hate to say that I'm just only on Earth, because I want to play around a little bit and have some fun.
Well, you sound like the type of person who will.
I want to.
So you mean somebody contacts you and over the phone or over Skype or any other medium, and just by you talking to them, you communicate with the Akashic Records and you give them all this information?
Yes, so I will guide them through a quick little meditation. They will need to state their legal first and last name out loud. That will give me permission to access their records, and then I can open up their records and get to my work. I never just meddle around without anybody's consent.
How long does it take for an Akashic record reading?
Well, I like to talk fast, so I can do a reading in 30 minutes or an hour. If you're coming for a past life, like if you want to like really tap into your past life or energy healing, I would recommend an hour. But for the first time, like we're getting to know each other. We're talking. You're gonna get what my flow is, what your flow is. I would recommend 30 minutes.
Once again, Exonation, you can get all this information on Rachel's website, AkashicAngels.com. Angels, my favorite topic. I believe in angels. I've seen miraculous things happen, and there was no other explanation except divine intervention or a guardian angel. Protection, love, sincerity, inspiration. Angels are there, and like I've been told by other angel people as well as Rachel tonight, all you need to do is say, hey, angel, I need your help. And if Archangel Michael can find a parking spot for Rachel, just imagine what he can do for you. And Rachel and I will be back with angels on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our radio station, our corporate studios, right here in St. Catharines, Ontario on classic1220.ca. And welcome back, Exonation. Oh my gosh, look at Craig, what we did again. We've got people out of their cars dancing all over the place. We're getting reports of people in bars, restaurants all over Niagara. They're on the tables. My God, what have we done? There's a lot of people to have fun. That's what we've done. That's what we do Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, my producer, Craig West, and each and every one of you out there. Rachel's Garrett's our special guest. And have you ever seen an angel?
Yes, I have. Yes. I will tell you, I will share one story about, I've seen many angels, but
Really?
one angel I did see was that one of my family members was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer about a year ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you, but believe it or I'll share the story and then I'll tell you how she's doing.
Okay.
She I'm praying on the way to work, I'm driving, and I look up in the sky is clear, and I promise you I see an angel in the sky, and I snap a picture and I'm like, thank you God, I know she's going to be healed. Now this was over a year ago, and I'm telling you right now, she has no evidence of active disease in her body. Like out of 1 year, stage 4 cancer.
That is fantastic.
It's a miracle.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a miracle.
But if you believe, anything is possible. Anything. If you believe in angels, all you need to do is ask.
Yes.
That's
the key. Yes.
So what is the most favorite part of what you do as a practitioner? Is it the angel work? Is it the Akashic work? Is it the crystal work? Is it the healing work? What is your favorite? Or do you say, I love them all?
Well, this is why I like the Akashic Records. It's because I can pull them all in. So I can channel to you right now, like, okay, I'm channeling amethyst energy into you while talking to Archangel Jophiel, while transmitting an energy healing and doing a reading. So that's why I really, really respect the records, because I can pull in all of my modalities and, blend them together. Now, does that mean that, I have a problem and I'm still, trying to do more modalities because I love to learn? Absolutely. I'm doing quantum healing hypnosis training now. Like, I just love to learn about modalities because I just think they're fascinating to me.
That's why you're a nurse. A nurse is always learning.
We are. We
I
have
know.
a problem.
Yeah. Talking about energy healing, what are some of the most common misconceptions about energy healing, and how do you address them?
I would say a common misconception is that it doesn't work, that it's baloney, and I will say that how I've addressed it is I've taken modalities that I know that it's a very streamlined course, and that and I don't want to say it's not taught on every single corner, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure that what I learned and what I know, that it's a legitimate energetic source, and that it's actually working along with the body systems. So like it works along with the organs, it works along with, like I said before, all of your energetic systems. Like, I don't want to just be like, standing over you and be like, ooh, let's go. Like, that to me it's not going to work. So I want you to feel what I'm doing, to know what I'm doing, and I'll talk you through it. Like, okay, if I'm working on your third eye, I'm removing blocks. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that you know exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I think that's where misconceptions can come, because if I'm just like pressing on parts and,
Right.
I could make a bunch of stuff that's not true.
Speaking about angels and the Akashic records again, what advice would you give to someone who is curious about exploring the Akashic records or angelic healings but doesn't know where to start?
It's a good question. So Linda Howe, she has a really good book about how to learn to read the Akashic records. It's very easy to follow. And she actually gives you the gateway prayer, and she kind of tells you how to read the records for yourself. There are other people, I want to say Maureen St. Germain, she's got a really good book. Edgar Casey, he's known as the sleeping prophet and the pioneer of the Akashic records. He has since passed, but he has some books. There's tons of amazing courses that you can take. The one thing I do want to say is it's not hard. Like, anyone can learn how to read your Akashic records. Anyone can talk to the angels. It's as simple as, angels, please come to me now. Just invite them into your heart. Angels, come to me now. Archangel Raphael, please come to me now. Please guide me, direct me, help me. That's all you have to do. Just have an open heart and a willingness to just, this is what I want to try to do. That's all you really need to do. Even same thing with your records. It's not complicated. It's just a matter of, you've got to just practice.
I can just hear the angels now. Okay, there. All right, let's see. Oh, there's Rachel. She's getting into her car. Oh, look at that. Yeah, she's downtown now. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. What do you want to bet that she's going to ask us to find another parking spot for her? Somebody should get her a GPS for Christmas, for heaven's sake. Oh, but since there's nothing to do. All right, let me see. Oh, look at that. There's an old lady. She better hurry up. Oh, there's a spot. Oh, all right, Rachel, there it is over there.
Pretty much. I call in the angels a lot for protection. Like, I'll say, angels, please protect my house. Please, protect my doorways, protect my property, and the angels are with all of us. So it's not, if Rachel's using them to find a parking spot, doesn't mean that, you can't call on them to help you find your missing tie. So we can all call on the angels. They are with all of us. So not one person is, able to call on them more so than another person.
I'm going to share with you a real angel experience that I had.
Yes.
It was so many years ago. I was about 5 years old, 6 years old. And back then, baby food came in a can. And they hadn't perfected the way to keep baby canned food fresh. Anyway, my mother, my father, and I had supper, and my younger brother had baby food from this can. Well, hours later, my brother is deathly sick. My mama and dad dropped me off at my grandmother's house, who just lived up the street, and they took my brother to the hospital, and it wasn't looking good for him. They diagnosed it as massive ptomaine poisoning.
Wow.
And everybody is called to my grandmother's house, who was the pillar of the family, and everybody's expecting the phone to ring with bad news. Very bad news. So I'm in the kitchen with my grandmother, and there's my aunts, my uncles, my cousins were there, and there's this man standing in the corner. He had the whitest hair, the bluest eyes that I have ever seen. He looked at me and he smiled. The phone rang. It was my mother. My brother had made a sudden turn to the good, and the danger was over. To me, my friend, that was an angel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that story. I love that story. It's not a story. I love that memory.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when I was in police work, there were times where we'd go to an accident, and people would be asking, well, where did the man go that was here who helped everybody out? Angel.
Yes.
Yeah. So I believe in angels. I really do. But a lot of people out there haven't had the experiences that you and I have both had. And we know how lucky we are. All they need to do is ask the angels for their help.
Yes.
And they'll be there.
Yes.
Is there a meditation that you can teach our listeners now that would help with the angels?
So what I like to do with IET, if you can just drop down into your heart space, so just imagine yourself going into your heart center, and then imagine a gold cord coming from your heart center, going up, 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 simple as that, up, 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 and just having the intent of connecting with an angel. And then you can kind of connect with that angel, and you don't even have to see it. You can feel, sense, or imagine it, and then just say, I'm open, just please guide me, please direct me, please come to me, however you want to say it. And then just feel that angelic love coming down that golden cord of light from them back down to your heart. It could be something as simple as that. And really the easiest way is just, Archangel Michael, please come to me now. And you don't even have to know their names. I guess I'm throwing out names, and you don't even have to know their names. Will my guardian angel please come to me? Will this angel please come to me? Just inviting them in. That's all you need to do. And then maybe like one of the things that I like to do is, like automatic writing. You can write a letter to the angels, like conscious writing, like, dear angels, I'm struggling with this. I need help with this, whatever. And then kind of shift your mind if you can. Maybe even just switch your I'm left-handed. Maybe just switches to my right hand. And then just see what starts coming and allow your mind to drift. Then the angels are going to start channeling to you.
So let me understand this, if I may,
Sure.
because we're coming up to the commercial very shortly.
Sure.
You've got these angels who have been with us since the very beginning of time.
Yeah.
They can do miracles. They can help
Absolutely.
keep with the Akashic Records. But they don't use email?
I actually just met with a lady. She wrote an archangel book, and there was this email that went around about how to invite the archangels into your life. And you can Google it. It's like an email about inviting them in. So they do email.
There you go. Quickly, where do you do your courses, and how do you do them?
So, like how I did my own cert,
No.
how do I teach people?
How do you teach people?
So I teach them online. I do have some courses that you can access online through AkashicAngels.com, or if you go to my Facebook page at Rachel C. Garrett, you can see classes that I'm going to be holding.
Oh.
And I do go to a spiritual shop.
Oh, that's great. So people will be able to go to your website at AkashicAngels.com and find out everything they can, and hopefully take a course.
Take a course.
Yeah.
I have even a really cool archangel meditation that you can connect with the angels right then and there. I think I have 5 different angels you can connect with.
Well, there you go. You and I have to take our final break for this hour, Rachel. You know, it's really nice having you on the show. I love your energy.
Thank you. I appreciate your energy too.
Thank you, dear. Exonation, Rachel Garrett is our special guest this hour. If you'd like to contact her for a one-on-one consultation or to take any of her courses, they're available on her website at akashicangels.com. And we'll both be back on the other side of this very short break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario. Where? On your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca.
Apple on the tree. I've got the notion to tell you about my history, people. I've got the notion to tell you about how I came up in the world.
All right, David Wilcox, but can you tell us how to talk to angels? What's that you say? You can't? Well, my guest can. Rachel Garrett's her name, and her website is Akashic Records, AkashicAngels.com. What are you laughing about over there?
Because this is really funny. I'm sure he can after listening to all these interviews.
What's it like when a mom or a dad come to you for an Akashic record reading or a communication with the angels about a child that they have that's passed?
So I have had a couple parents come to me about that, and it can be a very empowering moment, but also, of course, it's very sad. Losing a child is very, very sad, and it's delicate. You have to be very compassionate, and you have to be very, very delicate. And I think the biggest thing is to remember that even though this, wonderful, beautiful child is no longer in a physical body, you're still able to connect with them in a spirit. So death is just a doorway. You can still, feel their energy and connect with them. And so I would like to, kind of teach them on how you can continue that connection with the child, even though it's a very traumatic and tragic event that they've went through.
When somebody passes over, let's use the example of this child, do they grow spiritually as well as do they grow physically, I guess?
No, that's an interesting question, because I think it would depend on, the soul, I think you would return back to your soul form, and that soul form is ageless. And I think you would take all the wisdom that you had in this lifetime and in previous lifetimes and kind of bring it all together. So I think that's why a lot of spirit can be very, they guide you, they help you, they want to cheer you on from the other side. But then that soul might choose to reincarnate. So I think it would just depend on that being and what their role is, because I do feel like we kind of choose what we're supposed to do before we come here on this planet. And it could be that I'm to give my parents a lot, they're supposed to learn more compassion or more healing. I don't think they necessarily grow into an aged person, but I think they turn into a spirit body.
Is it possible that once we pass and we leave the meat suit behind, that we return to the pure energy that we started as?
Yes, of all that is, absolutely. Yes, I would 100% agree with that. Absolutely. Because maybe you don't want to choose to come back to earth, or you know what I mean? Like maybe you want to go back to where your soul originated from. And that could be all that is.
Now, what is a master energy healer?
What is a master energy healer? Well, it just means that I have achieved the highest level of that energy. Well, no, I haven't achieved the highest level because then I would be able to train the trainers, but I am able to certify people in that modality. So I'm able to do basic, intermediate, and advanced training for practitioners that want to learn that energy healing modality.
What does your family think about all these wonderful accomplishments?
Well, I'll tell you what my son says. He'll be like, "Oh, are you doing those chakra healing power thing, Mom?" So they are interested with it. Some of my family might think it's the devil's work. Some of my family thinks it's wonderful. And, I know that I have a purpose here, and I'm going to keep being me.
Let me ask you this. How can anybody who helps another person be doing the work of the devil?
That's a very good question. And I would say that is somebody who may not, maybe judgmental and not, maybe they're a little closed-minded. And that's okay. Everyone has their own path and their own journey. And I like the saying is it takes all kinds of people to make the world go round.
Now, when you do your consultations, do you use all of your modalities?
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. Yes.
And what has been the most interesting reading or healing that you've done that has even blown you away?
I like the readings. So when you do, so with IET, you can actually embed in your soul's purpose into your cellular tissue. And what I get during those sessions is I can see your soul's purpose. I can see what you're supposed to be doing, not what you're supposed to be doing. I can see what you're meant to be and what your purpose is. And those to me are the most exciting to me, because like I said, every single session is so different that I can't put a finger on, well, that session was this and that session was that, because not any of them are the same. So it's like this roulette wheel of what fun am I going to have and who's going to come in, because maybe today, your loved ones are going to come in. Maybe tomorrow your angels are going to come in. Maybe the next time your guides are going to come in. It's fascinating how everything just blends together, but it's vastly different. I love the sessions where I can take a healing tool and we can, you're making me remember now. I love this. I've actually done a session with a client when we went back to when Jesus was alive and they were part of Jesus's caravan.
Oh my gosh.
And that was amazing. So to walk them through that past life experience, whew, now you're making me remember. Mother Mary has come in. I've had phenomenal sessions with clients. They blow me away.
How do you prepare yourself for the work you do throughout the day? Because I'm sure it must be very taxing on you physically and mentally.
So I will not book a lot of sessions. I will probably only do like 1 or 2 a day, just because can be very energetically taxing. I make sure to meditate. I journal. I practice what I preach. So if I'm telling you, I really recommend that you journal, write out your reality, look at your limiting beliefs. I'm doing the same thing. I really want to practice what I preach. I want to keep a clear energetic system. I ground myself, I meditate, I'll move my body. Like when you guys are playing the music, I'm jamming out. Thank God you can't see me dance. I need to move.
Yeah.
I cleanse the energy. I will also, if I am not in the right headspace or mental space, I will let the client know and I'll reschedule. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot, but if I'm not feeling up to it, you're not going to get a good quality session. And that's not fair to you as a client.
Has it ever happened that a client has come to you and you reach out to the angels, you reach out to every source that you know using your modalities that you can actually get answers for this person. Usually that is, and this time, nobody answers. The angels want nothing to do with this. You know what I mean?
I will say, I'm thinking, I had one client one time, and she just wasn't in, and it wasn't that everyone was coming through, but there was resistance. I don't know if we weren't connecting, and it was not a first-time client. It was a client that I had a couple of times, and we had a good rapport. But for some reason, we just weren't, it wasn't jiving. And like the messages I was trying to give to her, like it was falling on deaf ears. And that's okay. Like maybe she just wasn't in the right mindset, and that's okay again. And I actually had to say to her, I'm like, you know what, we're just gonna end the session. Like, this isn't working. Like, there's something that's not clicking. And, and I wanted to be very gentle and compassionate about it, but something just wasn't clicking with what I was trying to say to her. And it was a struggle. So, and it wasn't for the lack of messages. It was the lack of just not wanting to hear it, I guess. I don't know what it was.
Well, I bet you the angels knew the question that she wanted to get answered was, where's the best parking spot?
I'm never going to live that down.
You're
never.
Right. We've got about a minute and a half left. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great talking to you. I love your energy. And is there a special message that you'd like to share with the X Zone Nation, or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with them over the next minute and a half?
Minute and a half. I love this. I think the one thing I want to say, because we talked a lot about angels, is that you're never alone.
Right.
There are times and moments that you're going to feel lonely and isolated, and like maybe you're struggling or you're going through a tough time. Call on the angels. Just call on them, ask them to come be with you, and they're going to show up for you. And if maybe you're somebody who needs a sign, because we all like signs,
sure,
ask them, please give me a sign. But make it big enough, loud enough, so I know what the heck it's you. Like, because, leaving me a small little feather, I might not think that's an angel. I want a big sign, and ask for it, and they'll give it to you. 100%.
Have you asked the angels for a sign, and have you gotten one?
Oh, absolutely. I ask for it all the time. So they leave me dimes in really weird spots. Like if I open up my dryer and there's a dime there, not because it's in my clothing, but because it's right there, I know it's from the angels. They'll leave it on my furnace. They'll leave them like everywhere. So that, and rainbows. I'm really big on rainbows. Rainbows, and we don't get a lot of rainbows because I'm in New York. Well, we get some, but not a lot. If I really am struggling, I'll be like, can you just please show me a rainbow? And I'll get a rainbow. Absolutely. Just ask. That's all you have to do is just ask. Be willing to have an open heart and ask, and they will deliver.
Rachel, I bet one of these days you're going to ask the angels for a sign, and you're going to get a no parking one. Rachel Garrett, thank you so much for sharing your time with us here tonight. We'd love to have you back on in the future. But until then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and, just keep what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. X Zone Nation, Rachel Garrett's our special guest tonight. And if you'd like to contact Rachel, her website is akashicangels.com. Wow, angels, my favorite topic. I believe in angels. People say, Rob, you believe in angels, but you don't believe in UFOs. Well, it's very simple. I've seen angels. I've seen what angels can do. I believe in angels. I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen an alien, except I think he was from Mexico. And, that's why I believe you have to have a personal experience and feel it in your heart. I'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Whatever you do, don't go away.